Story 12. The Lost Child by Mulk Raj Anand. Characters: The lost child, a young boy who becomes separated from his parents at a crowded fair. He experiences a range of emotions, from wonder and fascination to fear and desperation, as he searches for them. The parents, the child's mother and father, who are with him at the fair initially but get separated from him. They are not given specific names in the story, and their role is primarily that of concerned parents trying to find their lost child. Stranger, a man trying to divert his attention. Various people at the fair. Throughout the story, the lost child encounters various individuals at the fair, including vendors selling sweets, flowers, and balloons. Summary: Mulk Raj Anand, 1905 to 2004, was a renowned Indian English novelist born in Peshawar, then part of British-ruled Pakistan. Despite his modest beginnings, he pursued education at Punjab University and University College, London, reportedly working in a London restaurant to support himself. Anand actively joined the Indian independence movement upon his return and was influenced by Karl Marx's ideology. His impactful novels, including Untouchable, 1935, and Coolie, 1936, addressed issues of caste and labor. Through realistic portrayals, Anand depicted the India he knew, producing numerous novels, short stories, and essays. One such story, The Lost Child, poignantly captures a boy's separation from his parents at a fair, underscoring the profound love between them and the void he experiences without them. This story is featured in the collection, The Lost Child and Two Lyrical Stories. On a vibrant spring festival day, the streets filled with colorfully dressed revelers heading towards the fair. Among them was an exuberant little boy, running between his parents with boundless energy and joy. His parents encouraged him to keep up, but he was captivated by the enticing toys in the shops. He eventually caught up to them, unable to contain his longing for a particular toy. His father, stern as usual, refused, while his mother, touched by the festive spirit, offered her finger for him to hold, displaying a softer side. The boy's heart was set on the toy, despite the familiar resistance from his father. On a spring day, a child's unfulfilled desire was momentarily subdued as he turned his attention to the wondrous sight before him. Leaving the dusty road, they entered a flowering mustard field, its pale golden waves stretching for miles. The field flowed like a river of yellow light, occasionally branching out. In the distance, a cluster of mud-walled houses stood amidst a crowd of yellow-robed people, accompanied by a cacophony of noises. The child, overwhelmed with joy, saw the same delight reflected in his parents' faces. He abandoned the path, bounding into the field like an exuberant colt, his steps harmonizing with the playful gusts of wind carrying the scent of distant fields. In a vibrant scene, dragonflies with transparent purple wings darted around, intercepting a solitary black bee or butterfly seeking nectar from flowers. The child avidly watched their aerial dance, attempting to catch one when they settled, but they always eluded his grasp. A daring black bee tried to entice him, buzzing near his ear and nearly touching his lips, prompting a caution from his mother. He rejoined his parents on a footpath but was soon drawn to insects and worms emerging to bask in the sunlight. When his parents called from a grove by a well, he eagerly joined them. In a vibrant grove, an ancient banyan tree sheltered a variety of blooming flowers, its branches spreading like a protective grandmother over the blossoms. The colorful petals half revealed themselves in their adoration of the sun, releasing a sweet fragrance carried by the gentle breeze. The child, captivated by the falling petals, was suddenly distracted by the cooing of doves. He rushed back to his parents, leaving the petals behind. The sight of a koel's melodious call filled his parents with a sense of liberation. They called the child, who playfully circled the banyan tree, and together they followed a narrow path to the fair from the mustard fields. Approaching the village, the child was both intrigued and overwhelmed by the bustling chaos of the fair. A sweetmeat seller tempted passers-by with an array of colorful sweets, but the child hesitated, fearing his parents would deem him greedy. He moved on without a word. A flower seller's captivating scents beckoned, but he knew his parents would dismiss them as inexpensive. He left without asking. A man with vibrant balloons caught the child's eye, but he anticipated his parents' objection to such toys. He walked on. A juggler entranced a snake with his flute, but the child knew his parents disapproved of such performances. He continued on his way. Despite the temptations, he restrained himself to abide by his parents' expectations. Amidst the lively fair, a roundabout spun joyously with people shrieking in laughter. The child, entranced, wished to join, but when he turned to his parents, they were nowhere to be seen. Panic-stricken, he frantically searched, tears streaming down his face. Exhausted and defeated, he sobbed, his once light body feeling leaden. Amidst the crowd, he couldn't find his parents. Desperate, he headed towards a crowded shrine, struggling through legs. He almost faced danger but cried out for his parents, catching a man's attention. The man stopped and lifted the distressed child in his arms. The man, concerned for the lost child, tried to comfort him while avoiding the crowd. The child's cries for his parents grew more intense, expressing his desperate longing for them. The man attempted to distract him with the offer of a ride on the roundabout's horses, but the child's anguish persisted. The man then led him to the juggler and his dancing cobra, urging him to appreciate the music. However, the child, overwhelmed with grief, covered his ears and continued to fervently call for his mother and father, resisting any form of solace. Despite the man's persistent efforts to console the child, offering balloons, flowers, and sweets, the child's heartrending sobs only grew louder. He longed for his parents, his pain too deep to be alleviated by distractions or gifts. The man's kind intentions to bring joy went unanswered, as the child's sole desire was to be reunited with his mother and father. The colorful balloons, fragrant flowers, and enticing sweets held no appeal for him in his distress. The child's anguish echoed through the fair, a poignant reminder of his yearning for the familiar presence of his parents. A. Multiple choice questions. 1. In which season was the couple walking towards the market with their child? A. Spring. B. Summer. C. Autumn. D. Winter. 2. The field on both sides of the road looked yellow because of flower. A. Peach. B. Marigold. C. Sunflower. D. Mustard. 3. The child had overwhelming desire to possess colorful A. Gulmoho garlands. B. Gulab jamans. C. Balloons. D. Flutes. 4. The child was lost while A. He was watching the balloons. B. He was watching people swing. C. He was trying to buy sweets. D. He was listening to the snake charmer. 5. The child refused to take any gifts from the strangers because A. The gifts were not good looking. B. The gifts were heavy for him to hold. C. The gifts had no meaning in the absence of his parents. D. He never accepted gifts from the strangers. Extra MCQs. 1. When was Mulk Raj Anand born? A. 1905. B. 2004. C. 1935. D. 1961. 2. Where was Mulk Raj Anand born? A. New Delhi. B. Peshawar. C. Lahore. D. Kolkata. 3. In which country was Peshawar located during Mulk Raj Anand's birth? A. India. B. Pakistan. C. Bangladesh. D. Nepal. 4. Where did Mulk Raj Anand study, including at University College, London? A. Punjab University. B. Harvard University. C. Oxford University. D. Cambridge University. 5. What influential philosophy influenced Mulk Raj Anand? A. Existentialism. B. Marxism. C. Capitalism. D. Feminism. 6. Which of Anand's novels deals with the issue of caste in India? A. The village. B. Untouchable. C. Coolie. D. The sword and sickle. 7. What is the title of the story featured in the collection, The Lost Child and Two Lyrical Stories? A. The Lost Child. B. The Hidden Treasure. C. The Wandering Boy. D. The Forgotten Tale. 8. In the story, what is the reason for the child's separation from his parents? A. He got lost in a forest. B. He followed a flock of birds. C. He was kidnapped by a stranger. D. He got separated in a crowded fair. 9. In the story, what happens when the child reaches the flowering mustard field? A. He starts playing with the other children. B. He joins his parents in the field. C. He gets lost in the field. D. He refuses to enter the field. 10. What emotion does the child experience when he is separated from his parents in the fair? A. Joy. B. Fear. C. Anger. D. Surprise. 11. In the story, what type of sweets does the child desire at the sweet shop? A. Jalebi. B. Gulab Jamun. C. Rasgulla. D. Burfi. 12. What does the child do when he gets lost at the fair? A. He searches for his parents. B. He joins other children to play. C. He enjoys various attractions. D. He cries and remains in one place. 13. What does the child try to catch when he sees dragonflies and other insects? A. Butterflies. B. Flowers. C. Dragonflies. D. Balloons. 14. In the story, what do the parents say about the child's desire for a toy at the fair? A. They buy it for him immediately. B. They scold him for being greedy. C. They promise to get it later. D. They ignore his request. 15. Why does the child cry out, "Mother, Father," in the story? A. He's excited to see them. B. He's hungry and wants their attention. C. He gets separated from them. D. He's lost his favorite toy. 16. In the story, what does the child do when he sees the flowering mustard field? A. He enters it and starts playing. B. He turns away and refuses to go in. C. He follows his parents into the field. D. He gets frightened and runs away. 17. What happens to the child when he reaches the crowded shrine in the story? A. He is reunited with his parents. B. He finds a hiding place to avoid the crowd. C. He gets trapped in the crowd and struggles to move. D. He decides to stay at the shrine. 18. In the story, what does the man try to offer the child to distract him from his distress? A. Balloons. B. Flowers. C. Sweets. D. All of the above. 19. What is the child's reaction to the man's attempts to offer distractions in the story? A. He happily accepts the offerings. B. He angrily rejects everything. C. He continues to cry for his parents. D. He laughs and plays with the man. 20. What ultimately draws the child's attention in the story and causes him to call out for his parents? A. Balloons. B. Sweets. C. Flowers. D. Roundabout. 21. In the story, what is the child's main emotional state after being separated from his parents? A. Excitement. B. Joy. C. Fear. D. Anger. 22. What type of field does the child enter in the story when he gets lost from his parents? A. Flowering mustard field. B. Wheat field. C. Cornfield. D. Vegetable garden. 23. What is the child's reaction when he sees a roundabout at the fair? A. He eagerly joins in and takes a ride. B. He turns away and ignores it. C. He becomes fascinated and wants to ride. D. He cries and continues searching for his parents. 24. What is the child's primary desire throughout the story? A. To have sweets. B. To ride on the roundabout. C. To be reunited with his parents. D. To play with balloons. 25. 25. How does the man who helps the lost child react to the child's persistent calls for his parents? A. He ignores the child. B. He takes the child to the roundabout. C. He tries to distract the child with various offerings. D. He scolds the child for being lost. B. Short questions. 1. Why does the child lag behind while walking with his parents in the fair? The child lags behind while walking with his parents in the fair because he is enthralled and captivated by the various attractions that surround him. The fair is a vibrant and stimulating environment, filled with a plethora of sights, sounds, and experiences. As a young and curious child, he is naturally drawn to the array of colorful and intriguing displays, which range from toys to sweets, flowers, balloons, and even a roundabout in full swing. Each of these elements of the fair exerts a magnetic pull on the child's attention. His eyes dart from one enticing sight to another, and his youthful exuberance compels him to stop and marvel at the different attractions. The child's sense of wonder and fascination overrides his sense of time and pace, causing him to fall behind his parents in his pursuit of delight. Additionally, the child's limited impulse control and attention span, characteristic of his young age, contribute to his tendency to lag behind. He is still developing his ability to regulate his impulses and stay focused on a single task or direction. This lack of self-control, combined with the overwhelming sensory stimulation of the fair, leads him to frequently pause and explore the various offerings. The child lags behind due to his natural curiosity, fascination with the fair's attractions, and his age-appropriate tendency to become easily distracted and enthralled by the colorful and enticing environment. 2. Right name of the things the child asked his parents to buy. Why was he attracted towards these things? The child asked his parents to buy him a particular toy that caught his eye in one of the shops along the way, which held special significance for the child. He was drawn to it because, in his young and innocent eyes, it represented a source of joy, wonder, and amusement. For the child, the toy symbolized a world of excitement and possibility. It likely had bright colors, interesting shapes, or other features that were visually appealing to him. Its novelty and uniqueness sparked his imagination and curiosity. Additionally, as a young child, he may not have had many possessions or experiences, so the prospect of owning this toy held great significance for him. Furthermore, the child's request for the toy was driven by his immediate and genuine desire for happiness. At his age, he may not have been concerned with practical considerations like cost or practicality. His request was a simple expression of the joy he believed the toy would bring him. Overall, the child's attraction to the toy was a reflection of his youthful innocence, curiosity, and the natural desire for play and amusement. The toy represented a source of happiness and wonder that captivated his young heart. 3. How did the parents respond to the child's request for a toy? The parents' responses to the child's request for a toy differed in their attitudes and reactions. The father, described as looking at the child with a stern and harsh expression, responded in a manner that conveyed reluctance and a strict demeanor. It implies that the father was unwilling to grant the child's request, possibly due to concerns about the cost of the toy or a belief that it wasn't a necessary or practical purchase. This reaction suggests a more authoritative and disciplined parenting style, where the father may prioritize practicality and fiscal responsibility over indulging the child's immediate desires. On the other hand, the mother's response was characterized by tenderness and a softer approach. She was described as being melted by the festive atmosphere of the fair. She offered her finger to the child, a gesture that conveys affection and a desire to connect with him. This suggests that the mother was more inclined to empathize with the child's desire for the toy and was possibly more open to indulging his wishes. Unlike the father, she may have been swayed by the joyful spirit of the fair and was more willing to consider the child's immediate happiness. Overall, the parents' responses highlight a contrast in their parenting styles, with the father being more reserved and practical, while the mother exhibited a warmer and more empathetic approach to the child's request. 4. How did the child react with the dragonfly? The child's interaction with the dragonflies was characterized by fascination and an attempt to engage with these creatures. He watched them intently as they fluttered about on their gauzy, transparent purple wings. The child was captivated by their graceful and agile movements in the air. His gaze followed them as they darted around, intercepting other flying insects like a lone black bee or butterfly. When one of the dragonflies eventually landed and folded its wings, the child seized the opportunity to try and catch it. He was determined to capture this wondrous creature, driven by his curiosity and excitement. However, despite his efforts, the dragonfly managed to evade his grasp, fluttering and hovering just out of reach. The child's reaction to the dragonfly demonstrated his natural curiosity and eagerness to interact with the world around him. He viewed the dragonflies as enchanting and sought to engage with them, showcasing his youthful wonder and fascination with nature. Although his attempts to catch the dragonfly were unsuccessful, his enthusiasm and persistence reflected his genuine desire to connect with the natural environment and the creatures within it. 5. How did the child react when he realized that he was separated from his parents? When the child realized that he was separated from his parents, he experienced a sudden and intense surge of panic and distress. The text vividly describes his reaction as a full, deep cry welling up within his dry throat. This cry was accompanied by a physical response, as he jerked his body in a sudden movement of fear and desperation. Tears streamed down his face, heavy and fierce, reflecting the depth of his emotional turmoil. His flushed face contorted with fear, and his small frame trembled with the intensity of his emotions. The child's world had suddenly turned from one of excitement and wonder to a place of overwhelming anxiety and vulnerability. In his frantic search for his parents, the child's movements were marked by a sense of urgency and desperation. He ran to and fro, scanning the surroundings in all directions. He looked ahead, behind, and to the sides, hoping to catch a glimpse of his parents. Each passing moment without their familiar presence heightened his sense of isolation and fear. As the child's cries of "Mother, Father" went unanswered and he failed to locate them, his sobs grew more pronounced. The initial panic began to give way to a sense of defeat and helplessness. This moment encapsulates the profound impact of the child's separation from his parents, portraying a young soul in distress, yearning for the security and comfort of their familiar presence. 6. Who, in your view, is responsible for the separation of the child with his parents and why? The separation of the child from his parents in the story, The Lost Child, by Mulk Raj Anand is primarily a result of the child's own youthful curiosity and fascination with the various attractions at the fair. The child's natural inquisitiveness and boundless energy led him to become engrossed in the enticing sights and experiences around him. His attention was captured by the colorful toys, the dragonflies, the roundabout, and other elements of the fair, causing him to lag behind his parents. However, it's important to note that while the child's curiosity played a significant role, his parents also bear some responsibility for the separation. They could have been more vigilant and attentive to the child's movements, especially in a crowded and stimulating environment like a fair. It's possible that they underestimated the extent of the child's fascination and didn't realize how far behind he had fallen. Additionally, the parents' differing reactions to the child's request for a toy may have contributed to the situation. The father's stern and uncompromising demeanor may have created an atmosphere where the child felt less inclined to communicate or stay close. On the other hand, the mother's more tender and empathetic response may have made the child feel a stronger connection with her. While the child's curiosity was the primary factor, the parents could have exercised greater vigilance and communication to prevent the separation. It's a shared responsibility, with both the child's natural curiosity and the parents' level of attentiveness playing a role in the unfolding events. C. Long questions. 1. Interpret the story, The Lost Child, as a realistic story. The Lost Child, by Mulk Raj Anand can be interpreted as a realistic story, due to its portrayal of everyday life and the genuine emotions experienced by the characters. The narrative captures the essence of a common scenario, a family outing to a fair, which is a relatable experience for many readers. The setting, consisting of a bustling fair with various attractions, mirrors a typical cultural event in Indian society. The characters, including the child and his parents, exhibit behaviors and emotions that are true to life. The child's fascination with the fair's offerings, such as toys, dragonflies, and the roundabout, reflects the natural curiosity and wonder of a young boy. His desire for a particular toy, as well as his subsequent separation from his parents, are situations that could happen to any child in a similar environment. The parents' reactions are also grounded in reality. The father's sternness and the mother's tenderness represent contrasting parenting styles that many families can relate to. The father's reluctance to buy the toy due to perceived greediness, and the mother's softer approach influenced by the festive spirit are common parental dynamics. This duality in their responses adds depth and authenticity to the story. The child's panic and distress upon realizing he is separated from his parents are emotions that anyone who has experienced a similar situation can empathize with. The intense fear, the frantic search, and the overwhelming relief upon reuniting with his parents are all emotions rooted in genuine human experiences. Furthermore, the vivid descriptions of the fair, from the colorful toys and vibrant atmosphere to the sights and sounds of the attractions, paint a vivid picture that readers can easily visualize. This attention to detail enhances the story's realism. In conclusion, The Lost Child can be seen as a realistic story because it captures the ordinary events and emotions of a family outing to a fair. The characters' behaviors and reactions, as well as the vivid depiction of the setting, contribute to the story's authenticity and relatability for readers. 2. How does the story exploit the theme, a child's bond with his parents? The Lost Child, by Mulk Raj Anand brilliantly explores the theme of a child's profound bond with his parents through various elements in the narrative. The story vividly portrays the deep emotional connection between the child and his parents, emphasizing their pivotal roles in his life. Firstly, the story highlights the child's unbridled joy and exuberance in the company of his parents. As they embark on a family outing to the fair, the child's infectious energy is evident as he runs between his parents, brimming with life and laughter. This initial imagery establishes a strong foundation for the theme, showcasing the child's genuine happiness when he is with his parents. The child's longing for a particular toy, and his subsequent separation from his parents serve as catalysts to underscore the strength of their bond. His request for the toy reflects his innate desire to connect with his parents and to share in the joy of acquiring something special. When he realizes he is separated from them, his world is suddenly transformed from one of excitement to one of fear and desperation. This shift in his emotional state starkly illustrates how integral his parents are to his sense of security and well-being. Furthermore, the contrasting parenting styles of the father and mother contribute to the exploration of the theme. The father's sternness and the mother's tenderness provide a nuanced portrayal of the parental dynamic. While the father's reluctance to buy the toy may be seen as a practical decision, it also serves to highlight his role as a provider and protector. Conversely, the mother's softer approach, influenced by the festive spirit, showcases her nurturing and empathetic nature. Both responses, though different, demonstrate their love and concern for their child. The child's cries of "Mother, Father," when he realizes he is lost serve as a poignant reminder of the powerful emotional connection he shares with his parents. His desperate pleas encapsulate the depth of his attachment and the profound impact their absence has on him. In conclusion, The Lost Child masterfully exploits the theme of a child's bond with his parents through its portrayal of the child's joy in their company, his longing for their presence, and his intense emotional response when separated from them. The contrasting parenting styles further enrich the exploration of this theme, ultimately highlighting the irreplaceable role parents play in a child's life. 3. Why do you think the child is attracted to things he sees in the marketplaces? The child in The Lost Child by Mulk Raj Anand is attracted to the things he sees in the marketplaces for several reasons, reflecting common behaviors and desires of young children. Firstly, the marketplaces are filled with a wide array of stimulating and visually appealing items. The toys, sweets, and colorful balloons present a sensory overload for the child. This sensory richness naturally captivates his attention and sparks his curiosity. The vibrant colors, enticing shapes, and novel textures of these objects create an environment that is inherently intriguing and irresistible to a young, impressionable mind. Additionally, the child's attraction to these items can be attributed to his age and developmental stage. Children, especially at a young age, are naturally inquisitive and eager to explore the world around them. They are drawn to objects that offer sensory stimulation and opportunities for play. The toys represent a source of entertainment and amusement, offering a chance for imaginative play and creative expression. Furthermore, the child's attraction to sweets and treats is a universal aspect of childhood. Sweets are associated with pleasure and indulgence, and they often hold a special allure for young children. The prospect of enjoying a sugary delight can be a source of great excitement and anticipation. The balloons, with their bright and varied colors, appeal to the child's sense of wonder and fascination with the world. Their floating and weightless nature may evoke a sense of magic and whimsy, which can be particularly enchanting for a child. Overall, the child's attraction to the things he sees in the marketplaces is a combination of the sensory appeal of the objects, his natural curiosity and desire for exploration, and the universal allure of toys, sweets, and colorful balloons to young children. These factors converge to create a compelling and relatable aspect of the child's experience in the story. 4. The child replies, "I want my mother, my father," each time when the strangers offer him different things one after another. The child's repeated response of, "I want my mother, my father," when strangers offer him various things reflects his singular focus and overwhelming emotional state. This refrain is a poignant expression of his deep-seated need for the comfort, security, and familiar presence of his parents. Firstly, the child's immediate and unwavering response underscores the primal nature of his attachment to his parents. In times of distress or fear, children instinctively turn to their primary caregivers for protection and reassurance. The stranger's offerings of toys, balloons, flowers, and sweets, though tempting to many children, hold little value to the lost child in comparison to the irreplaceable bond he shares with his parents. Furthermore, the child's insistence on his parents reveals his acute awareness of his own vulnerability in an unfamiliar and potentially dangerous situation. The fair, bustling with crowds and sensory stimuli, can be an overwhelming and disorienting environment for a young child. In this state of heightened anxiety and fear, his instinctual response is to seek the safety and familiarity of his parents' presence. The child's repetition of this plea also serves as a poignant reminder of the universal longing for parental love and protection. It resonates with readers on a deeply emotional level, evoking empathy and understanding for the child's predicament. It elicits a sense of shared human experience, as many can relate to the innate desire for the comfort and security that parents provide. Overall, the child's consistent refrain of, "I want my mother, my father," serves as a powerful narrative device that not only underscores the strength of his attachment to his parents, but also resonates with readers on a universal level. It poignantly conveys the child's vulnerability, his acute awareness of his own emotional needs, and the profound impact of parental presence on his sense of security and well-being. 5. Comment on the role of the rescuer in the story. The role of the rescuer in The Lost Child, by Mulk Raj Anand, is pivotal in providing a turning point in the narrative and ultimately ensuring the child's safety and well-being. The rescuer serves as a compassionate and understanding figure who intervenes at a critical moment, offering help and support to the distressed child. Firstly, the rescuer's act of lifting the child from the chaotic and potentially dangerous situation at the fair demonstrates a keen sense of empathy and concern for the child's welfare. In the midst of the bustling crowd and overwhelming sensory stimuli, the rescuer recognizes the child's distress and takes immediate action to ensure his safety. This intervention is crucial in preventing any potential harm or further disorientation for the child. Furthermore, the rescuer's inquiry about the child's identity and family reflects a genuine commitment to reuniting him with his parents. By asking, "How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you?" the rescuer seeks to gather essential information that will facilitate the child's reunion with his parents. This demonstrates a responsible and caring approach, emphasizing the rescuer's dedication to the child's well-being. The rescuer's attempts to console and distract the child with offers of rides on the roundabout, balloons, flowers, and sweets further highlight their compassionate nature. Despite the child's persistent cries for his parents, the rescuer remains patient and persistent, trying various ways to comfort and engage him. This demonstrates a genuine desire to alleviate the child's distress and create a sense of security in the midst of the unfamiliar surroundings. Ultimately, the rescuer's role culminates in guiding the child towards the temple, where the crowd is less congested. This decision reflects a strategic and thoughtful approach, prioritizing the child's safety and well-being above all else. The rescuer's actions ultimately lead to the child's reunion with his parents, providing a poignant and heartwarming resolution to the story. In conclusion, the rescuer in The Lost Child plays a crucial role in ensuring the child's safety and eventual reunion with his parents. Their empathy, quick thinking, and genuine concern for the child's well-being serve as a beacon of hope in a moment of distress and vulnerability. The rescuer's actions contribute significantly to the emotional impact and resolution of the narrative, underscoring the importance of compassion and human connection in times of need. 6. Write an essay on The Good Parenting. The Good Parenting. Good parenting is a cornerstone of a child's healthy development and well-being. It encompasses a range of nurturing behaviors and practices that create a supportive and loving environment for a child to grow, learn, and thrive. The essence of good parenting lies in providing unconditional love, setting appropriate boundaries, and fostering a sense of security. First and foremost, good parenting entails the expression of unconditional love and affection towards the child. This means accepting the child for who they are, recognizing their unique qualities, and providing a safe space for them to express themselves. Unconditional love creates a foundation of trust and emotional security, allowing the child to develop a positive self-image and healthy self-esteem. Setting clear and consistent boundaries is another crucial aspect of good parenting. Boundaries help children understand what is expected of them and provide a framework for appropriate behavior. Consistency in enforcing these boundaries provides a sense of predictability and stability, which is essential for a child's sense of security. It also helps them develop a strong internal compass and a sense of responsibility. Effective communication is a key component of good parenting. This involves active listening, empathy, and open dialogue. By actively listening to their child's thoughts, feelings, and concerns, parents can validate their experiences and foster a strong parent-child connection. Empathy allows parents to understand the world from their child's perspective, promoting mutual respect and trust. Open dialogue encourages the child to express themselves, seek guidance, and develop critical thinking skills. Furthermore, good parenting involves being a positive role model. Children learn by example, and parents serve as their primary influencers. Demonstrating kindness, respect, and empathy towards others instills these values in the child. Being a positive role model also involves taking care of one's own physical, emotional, and mental well-being, as this sets a powerful example of self-care and self-respect. In conclusion, good parenting is a multifaceted approach that encompasses unconditional love, setting boundaries, effective communication, and being a positive role model. It creates an environment in which a child can flourish emotionally, socially, and intellectually. Through good parenting, children develop a strong sense of self, healthy relationships, and the tools to navigate the challenges of life with confidence and resilience. Best of luck.